Okay, so what you saw on that short video, okay, Jay, to give you an idea of how big this universe is. If you think you're big,
I'm huge.
yeah, a lot of people think they are big.
Tall, 6'4".
You think this earth is big?
Yes.
You will never be able to see everything on earth. Everything very interesting on earth. You will not be able to see it.
Like Corona.
Can you guys scoot up?
Then, no joke. And then,
Can you go sit over there? You're getting distracted.
you would say that Earth is a big planet because it's bigger than Mercury and just a little bigger than Venus, about same size as Mars. So you think, wow, we are bigger than Mercury, right? And then next one is Jupiter. Jupiter is big compared to Earth, right? Hundreds of Earth can go into Jupiter and disappear. And then there is Saturn, little smaller, and two more, and millions of other asteroids and comets and other rocks and dust in the solar system. And you think this is a big solar system.
You're wrong. This is a huge
It's a
house.
huge solar system.
This is a big house.
But compared to other stars in the Milky Way,
Nebula.
Sun is a very ordinary small star. We have bigger stars. And you think bigger stars are big? They are galaxies. And cluster of galaxies. And supercluster of galaxies. And there are many, many supercluster of galaxies that make up that universe. Listen, that make up that universe that we know about little bit. But that's not the end. There is much more that we don't know. We don't know how big this is. And that's not enough. There is some people have ideas, some great scientists, that this whole universe, after we know everything, actually one of the many universes.
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
What is that?
And listen.
Universes.
And it goes on and on forever. And in that universe, this universe is like a bubble. So there are billions and billions of bubbles which are there. So not only multiverse, but there are parallel verses, parallel universes, which means there is another universe in which our opposites are living. Just imagination, but just appreciate the imagination. That they are made of antimatter. We are matter, and they are universes of antimatter. And when the matter and antimatter come together, they both disappear. Which means this multiverse is appearing and disappearing and appearing and disappearing. It's all a wonderful play. That is why all our rishis had this idea that everything we see is just a play. Everything we see is a play. And it's an illusion, because everything we see is a play and an illusion. What we see is really different from what it is actually. So they gave it a name called Maya. Maya means it's coming and going, appearing, disappearing. I'm seeing something, but something else is happening. At night I don't see anything, but everything is maybe there. Sometimes things appear because we see them, we notice it. They are there all the time, but we don't pay attention. So there's a big. Now, come to the other side. How small do you think things can get. You come to your body, right? Your mind is bigger than your body, right? Your mind can be everywhere, but your body cannot be everywhere. So your body is here, right? Your body is kind of fixed right now.
Yeah.
Yes? Good. And smaller than your body is what? What is the smallest thing you know about? Different parts of your body is smaller, right? Your eyes are smaller in the body. Then the iris, then the eyebrows, everything. There are billions and trillions of tiny holes in your skin, right? There's many parts of your body inside, your heart, your lungs, your liver, this, that, bones, fingers, nails, hair. All these are smaller than your body, right? And all of those are made of what? They are made of atoms. Listen, Jay. Everything in your body and in the whole universe is made of atoms. And how small you think the atom is? How small is an atom? I'll give an idea.
More the size of
In 1 grain of sand, you've been to beach, right? 1 grain of sand,
bigger than an atom.
how many atoms are in that 1 grain of sand?
There's billions.
100. Lot.
Hmm?
A lot.
Like billions and thousands.
Like
billions.
Like you say a lot.
They are
A lot.
2 times
2 times.
10 followed by 20 zeros. Can you write 10 followed by 20 zeros? 10?
Yeah, I'll write it.
Yeah.
No, Papa does it.
Keep in mind.
Wait, go.
10, then 20 zeros. 10 and 20 zeros. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. And put up to 3, yeah. So, a billion, trillion, quadrillion. Sometimes you don't, if a grain of sand is here, listen. Listen, somebody listen. If a grain of sand is here, will you be able to see it? Just
Yeah.
1 grain of sand.
No.
No, you won't be able to see it. And inside that grain of sand are these many atoms. And of course, you don't see any of them. Now, inside the atom, is there anything smaller than atom?
Quark. A cell.
Particles.
Oh,
Particles. So just imagine
cell.
the atom is like a football field.
A cell.
Now just imagine. Samaya, imagine. Atom is like a football field.
Huh?
At the center of the atom is nucleus,
Yes.
right? Now nucleus
Is
has 2 particles.
cell.
What?
Electrons and protons. Electrons and protons.
No.
That was your electrons and protons?
Neutrons. I
Neutron.
get it wrong actually. Electrons are on the outside.
Yeah.
Alright, Daddy. You're always.
So there is a nucleus of the cell, and the cell is like a football
I'm going
field.
to sit with Daddy.
Then the electrons are tiny particles of energy. They are circling, listen, they are circling the nucleus. Listen, okay, don't listen here. They are circling the nucleus of the atom. and sometimes more than 2 electrons circling, and sometimes more than 3, more than 4, or 1. So if only one electron is circling, it's a very light, it's not very dense. But if there are more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, then there are more electrons, that atom has more energy into it, right? And then these are all energy. How it becomes stuff, how it becomes matter. So now recently some scientists discovered that even smaller than a particle, they call it, Jay, you know what they call it? You probably don't know it. They call it the God particle. It's actually named after two scientists,
What are their names?
Higgs and boson. And you know what is a boson?
What?
There was one Mr. Bose, he's an Indian scientist.
It's true.
So it's a Higgs boson, but nobody has ever seen
Speakers.
it, has imagined. But they got some idea that it actually exists. And because of that Higgs boson or God particle, the energy waves can appear as stuff, as matter. Okay? This is what I understand. And much more needs to be known. Now, how did they figure out? No, I forgot about the quarks. Inside the nucleus, there are up quark, down quark, left quark, light quark. There are 6 of them.
Hey, you're forgetting a lot of
So
things today.
there is in Europe, there is a science lab called the Hadron Collider. So what they do, look, they fire 2 atoms. One from the opposite side is about 20 kilometers, 20 miles long tunnel, and very secure because anything can happen. Okay? Nobody is allowed inside, just machines and equipment to monitor what they. So they fire electrons on 2 sides and they travel almost at the speed of light. Okay? So as soon as they fire, they come and they collide. And when anything collides, there is a burst of energy. Okay? When 2 stars collide, they become supernova. That's a burst of energy. And that's where some stuff is made that later becomes suns and planets and moons and you. Alright? So when they collide, there is a spark coming out. Lots of sparks, which are smaller than nucleus. So they figured these sparks, we didn't study, we didn't know. So they are also subatomic particles. They are quarks. And even smaller than quarks, they found the Higgs boson. Higgs boson. Okay? So just imagine the way the things are bigger and bigger and bigger, they're also smaller and smaller and smaller.
What's after Higgs boson?
Maybe
Nothing.
they'll find something.
Maybe nothing.
Maybe they'll find something.
Nothing.
So actually, Higgs boson is not a thing. Atom is not a thing. When they combine, they appear like a thing. Everything is only energy. Everything is only energy. Sometimes, somewhere it appears as matter. Okay? And you know what is a matter? Does it matter?
What's the matter?
Matter is anything
I know. I learned about
That-
it in school.
listen, matter is something that uses up some space. Like this is matter because it is in space. My hand is matter because it's taking some part of the space. Right? That's matter. sun is matter. And okay, so the whole idea is why I'm trying to explain this to you is one is that there is no end to how big and no end to how small. We are in the middle. Okay? And when you think big, small things become easy to understand. Like I gave you the example, step ladder. When you are on the ground, you see less. When you are higher, you see more. But you still don't forget that is what you saw on the ground. And higher, when you go very high, you can see a lot more. That is what I mean by big mind. Think big. Small things become easy to understand when you think big.
They're coming out of the galaxy.
Yes, when you are bigger than galaxy, just imagine yourself, million times bigger than galaxy. Then Milky Way, oh that's Milky Way, that's Andromeda, that is nice stuff, nice lights and nice movement and all this. All this happens. And guess what? There is a galaxy called Andromeda and Milky Way are coming closer and closer and closer, which means they will collapse and become one galaxy, bigger galaxy, and keep going until they meet another galaxy and they join.
Wow.
But the interesting thing to note about that is even though the galaxies will collide, galaxies are so spread out. Even though they contain so much, they're so spread out. They'll collide and nothing will touch. There might
Nothing
be a
will
few
touch.
things.
You may not even know.
Yeah.
You may not even know that these two galaxies, it's like, one galaxy is here and we see here and you are here, it's just,
It's like this.
and then it may become continue as a spiral galaxy or become like a disk. Nobody knows what will happen. So think big, learn small, and grow with it.
What?
That's the idea.